What's up? I'm the Commissioner from Raider Reaction. This is your official post-draft reaction. Let's start with round one, shall we? Tyree Wilson, rated on a lot of guys' draft board as the #1 edge rusher in the draft. I think he was a solid pickup from Texas Tech. He wasn't that big sexy name like Jalen Carter or a lot of the other names that were getting a lot of press coming up, but the ones in the know knew that Tyree Wilson was solid, and I think he's a big addition to be the bookend on the other side from Mad Max. Now in round two, I think they may have misappropriated some draft capital by jumping up to grab Michael Mayer from Notre Dame, the tight end. Now Michael is going to be probably your day one starter at tight end since Waller is gone, shipped him out to the Giants. So I don't have a problem with signing a tight end. I just don't think maybe that was the position they needed to jump up. And I definitely don't think they needed to waste a pick to jump up 3 picks to get him. I think they could have sat pat and still been able to get Mayer at 38. They didn't need to jump up to 35. So I think a wasted pick there. But I do like the signing of Michael Mayer, a solid tight end. Now in round 3, you come back and did address the defense with defensive tackle Byron Young, a solid pickup there from Bama. He's definitely going to help out with the defensive line. I like that they double dipped, adding 2 big bodies to the defensive line right out of the gate. But the next pick at 100 in round 3 really had me scratching my head. Trey Tucker, wide receiver from Cincinnati. I think you went way too high to get Trey Tucker. He's basically just brought in to revitalize your special teams and your returning of punts and kicks. So with 10 other wide receivers already on the depth chart, I think they went way too high to get Trey Tucker, and this was one that definitely had me scratching my head. Now, I did like where they came back in round 4. Jacorian Bennett, corner from Maryland. That's addressing a huge position of need. I really like that signing. But then the next pick, again, had me scratching my head a little bit as you again wasted draft capital and traded away a pick to jump up and grab Aiden O'Connell, quarterback from Purdue. I don't think you needed to do that. I don't think you needed to waste the pick to jump up to get him. I think you could have stayed where you are and he was going to come down to you anyway. So that's 2 picks they wasted by jumping up in scenarios I don't think they needed to. In round 5, another solid pick, Georgia safety Christopher Smith II. I like this pick. Kid is a ball hawk. He will definitely help out in a position of need, which is defense, man. Defense heavy is what we all wanted for this draft. Come back in round 6, add more fire to the defense as you get Amari Burney, linebacker from Florida, and then close it out with Arizona State defensive lineman Nesta Jada Silveira. I like the fact that it was a very defensive heavy draft. They even added some more defense and undrafted free agents that we'll talk about later. But I like this draft. I like you found the replacement for Waller. You added in free agency the depth chart at tight end, but you went out and found his replacement. You found your bookend to Mad Max Crosby. You grabbed some defensive backs. You grabbed a lot of defensive line talent and a couple project linebackers. So as a whole, I think this was a pretty solid draft. They came in with 12 picks, left with 9 players. I think they could have got a few more players. They didn't need to jump up in a couple scenarios. I think they misappropriated a couple picks and a little bit of draft capital. But as a whole, I'm going to give this draft a B-. I think the regime did pretty well addressing the positions of need of the Las Vegas Raiders, and I'm interested to see what the new crop Raiders will do in 2023. It's time to get to work now, fellas.